So a woman interviews me for her podcast yesterday, and of course I'm talking about the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. And we start talking about stage 3. Stage 3, by far, hands down, is the most common place people get stuck. And I explained, well, what happens is because it feels so much better than the shock and trauma of where you just came from, stage 2, we think it's good. And then because we don't know there's anywhere else to go, we don't know there's a stage 4 or stage 5. Transformation doesn't even begin until stage 4. But because you don't know there's anywhere else to go, you plant roots here, you park here, you're not supposed to, but you don't know that. And then what happens is you get your story, we like our story, we get someone to blame, we get a target for our anger, we get sympathy from everyone we tell our story to. And on some level, when we don't know there's anything better, that serves and that's giving us something. We have no idea how much better our story is if we were willing to give up the story that we have. And then what happens is, so often you start talking to people about it, and of course you need to unpack it. But one of the things that will root you to stage 3 is when you just go over and go over and go over and go over it without a strategic plan to move to the next stage. And that's why people can stay stuck. One of the reasons why people can stay stuck in stage 3 for years, decades, a lifetime. And then you're there. So you get your story and all that goes with it. Then you start believing, you start thinking to yourself, well, maybe I'm not that great. Maybe this, maybe that. And then, so you plant deeper roots. Then, because this is the energy you have, well, this is what you're putting out there. Like energy attracts like energy. So you start calling situations and circumstances and relationships towards you to confirm, yep, this is it. The misery loves company crowd, they come around now too. And now you have your people. So you're like, well, I'm really getting a lot from being in this stage. No doubt you're miserable, but you're getting something from it. And then it gets worse. And I'll tell you this because I see it all the time. Here's where you resign yourself. You're like, this stinks, but I have to feed my kids. I have to get through my day. So you start numbing, avoiding, distracting, using food, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is. And now you do it for a day, a week, a month. Now it's a habit, a year, 10 years, 20 years. And I can honestly see someone 20 years out and say, that emotional eating you're doing, that drinking, that numbing in front of the TV, do you think that has anything to do with your betrayal? And they would look at me like I'm crazy, saying it happened 20 years ago. All they did was lock themselves in stage 3 and stay there. So you need to get out of stage 3. The longer you're there, the harder it is to leave. Of course, here to help.